why you need a website for affiliate marketing. Now, I got to tell you, this is a part where I do see people start to get intimidated because they say, website, that sounds complicated. And I wanted to tell you, why it is important that you get over this bit of concern, realize that it's not that hard, and also why you really do need one. There are a lot of advantages to having a website, including it is something that you legally own. It is possible to go out and sign up for a Facebook account and do everything through that, meaning that you don't have to have a website. You can just get an affiliate link and start promoting your product that way. But the problem is you don't actually own it. Facebook could boot you to the curb, or Facebook dries up and it's not that popular anymore. I don't think it's going to happen, but you never know. But it's not something that you actually legally own. So a website, is. So it's kind of like having a store, which is a good thing to have because it's actually something that is yours. It's an asset. It gives you more control over your marketing efforts. Of course, if you're just promoting things through an affiliate link, you don't have an opportunity to pre-sell your customer. Pre-selling is very important. For example, let's say that I am looking. Let's going back to this example here. I am thinking about purchasing Doubling Stocks, which is a program to help you make money from the stock market. So I type in Doubling Stocks review. And what happens is these reviews come up, and this person has a website, and they wrote a review for Doubling Stocks. And actually, it skipped me past their review. Let's look at something else here. This person here wrote a review for Doubling Stocks. So I'm thinking about buying it, but I come to this site, and then certainly, I read this information, and it compels me to purchase it. So what happens is, I came to the website already thinking about purchasing it, but the website turned the tide. It convinced me that I do need to purchase it, and then of course I go and purchase it. So having a website, gives you that ability to pre-sell someone. It gives you the ability basically to do whatever you want. It allows you to gain a footing in the search engines. If you are just promoting your affiliate link, then of course you're going to get sales, but you're not going to get any search engine results. If you have a website, you can promote your website, and then of course you'll get sales through your website. But what will happen is, it's more work in the beginning because you have to, go out and tell everybody about your website. But ideally, over time, you'll start to rank for terms in the search engines, and then you're going to get traffic that way. And then before you know it, you're making money without doing much effort, which is really, really nice. It allows you to pre-sell affiliate products, which I already mentioned. It also gives you an asset to your business, which I also already mentioned, but I think you get the gist here. Having a website is really, really important, and I strongly encourage you to go ahead and do that. It really is not that hard, as you will see in the next series of videos. Choosing a website host. Of course, there are lots and lots and lots of places that you can get website hosting. However, I would not necessarily go with the cheapest one because not all hosting is reliable. When looking at a website host, I would encourage you to look at past performance and reviews. You just go to Google and type in the name of the hosting company and review and see what people are saying about them. Pay attention to account limits. Sometimes you might get pulled in to a hosting account that looks cheap. However, it doesn't give you a lot. Things like bandwidth, which is how much transmission can occur. Every time somebody comes to your site and views a page, that's bandwidth. You want to make sure that you have enough bandwidth. You want to make sure that you have enough memory and space. Fantastico is highly recommended. Fantastico is a tool that comes with some hosting accounts that makes life a lot easier. I hope that you pick a hosting account that has Fantastico because it makes life so much easier. For example, WordPress is a very popular way to set up a website, and Fantastico will do it automatically for you. It automatically creates things like bulletin boards, image galleries. It's a really nice tool, especially for someone that doesn't know a lot about what they're doing, and it's a standard with many hosting accounts. Make sure it can expand with your needs. Perhaps you're going to get a hosting account that's just has space for 5 websites. Well, a couple months from now, you might want to add 5 more. Does that mean that you have to move everything? I sure hope not. I would hope that your hosting account can expand with your needs, which most major providers can do. A decent support and uptime. You know what? This probably should have been the first thing because it's really important. You could have cheap hosting, but if it's never online, that's not good. Now, I'll tell you what. I've dealt with some hosts for years, and every once in a while my site does go down. It does happen. Most of the time they claim that the sites are up 99% of the time, and if you're online all the time like I am, you notice that 1%. So it does happen, but you hope that it does not happen very often because time is money. Directly below this video screen you can find some links to hosts that I have found success with. I think that they're safe choices, and if you like, you can check them out. Configuring your domain name. Okay, after you have chosen a host and signed up and paid, your hosting account is activated. Sometimes it's immediate, sometimes it takes a couple hours, maybe a day. You should be sent information on your name servers. What we have to do is we have to link our hosting account with our domain name. So what you need then specifically are your name servers. If you cannot find it, typically it is in your welcome email, but if you can't find it, just contact support. That's what they're there. They're here to help you. Say, hey, listen, I need to set my name servers, and what are they? So they go ahead and they send them to you, and they need to take those and go into where you register your domain name and change your name servers. That's what I'm going to show you how to do in this video. So I'm going to assume that you registered at GoDaddy. If you didn't, that's certainly okay, but that's going to be what I use for the example. Okay, I am here logged into my GoDaddy account. I apologize that some things are blurred out, but I don't want to reveal everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on one of my domain names. Just go ahead and click on it. And you can see here there's a whole bunch of information. Down here in the bottom left is where it says name servers, and this is what I really want to be concerned about. I'm going to go ahead and click Manage. And again, they're going to be set by default to be GoDaddy's name servers. But we're going to go ahead and take care of that and switch it. Okay, so here it says, I want to park my domains, I want to forward, I want to have a hosting account. I have a hosting account. I host my domains with another provider. That's actually what we want. So go ahead and select that. And then right here is where you put your name server information. So what do name servers look like? Well, they're going to look something like this. It's going to be typically it's NS1 and then name of name server like that, and then NS2 name of name server, and there's typically going to be 2 of them, and you just put them in there, 1 and 2. Now it might not necessarily be NS1, it could be something else, but there's going to be 2 of them. That's an important thing. Okay, and then once you have that set, you just hit OK, and then it's going to say your name servers have been set, and then you're going to be good to go. Now please note, this is not going to happen immediately. There's going to be a delay. It needs to propagate through the internet and all this crazy stuff. So you set it, and then you go and you say, hey, it's not working. It's because it's going to take time. So I would give it at least a day, if not 2, before you start contacting people saying, hey, listen, I messed up. So if it doesn't work out for you, contact your host, because they're going to help you get it straight. Tell them what you did. Maybe they would even be nice enough to do it for you. But again, you just take the name server information that they provided you with, and you go into your host. And then if you didn't use, you go into your registrar. And if you did not use GoDaddy, just look and see, how to change the name server. And then it's just those 2 lines that you need to plug in, and then you're good to go. But please remember that it does take time. Okay, so once that's set, then it's time to go on, and we're going to just take a further look at what a hosting account looks like and some of the things that you should know from your hosting account. Understanding cPanel. I wanted to talk a bit about cPanel. Depending on what host you go with, you may or may not have cPanel. cPanel is probably the most common web interface. Your hosting account is going to have management software to help run your host. So think of it kind of like, if you have a Windows computer, Windows of course is your operating system. That's essentially what cPanel is. So I just wanted to take a few videos and share some things about cPanel with you on how to do some things. the hosts that I recommended that you use, that just a couple that I threw out to you, they all use cPanel. So if you want things to be as easy as possible, go with them. Of course, if you don't have cPanel, you have something that's similar to cPanel, and you can still watch his videos and take something from it because, of course, they're going to be similar. Okay, here I am. I am logged into the cPanel of one of my hosting accounts. I just wanted to go through the most common things that I think that you should know. One of the really nice things about cPanel is that there are actual video tutorials. So even though I am a starting point for you, you can go through and view these as well, done by cPanel themselves, which is actually really cool. They didn't have to do that, and they did, so that's nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and start here. Email accounts. This is where we can set up the email accounts for the hosts. What this means is that for every host, every account that you can have email accounts underneath it. And when you sign up for your hosting account, you were given specifics, how many emails you can have per account. So make sure that you're aware of that. But let's say you can create your emails to be whatever you want. So it could be your name, and then you create your password, and bam, you have an account. And that's it. Once your accounts are on here, then you can go to webmail to check them, or you can set it up that you can grab them through Outlook Express, if you or your whatever mail program that you already use, you can take from that. Of course, if you have your own business, you want to have an email account that's on your site, of course, and that's how you do that right there. Spam Assassin, those are your spam settings for your mail accounts. You can also set up forwarders, meaning two different things. Actually, with this, it just means that you can go ahead and if somebody sends you mail to your account that you created, you can go ahead and have it forward somewhere else. You can even have it forward to an email account that is off the site. So that's also really cool. You can set autoresponders for your email too. If somebody writes to you, that you have something right back to them. Okay, let's move down here. File Manager. This is actually really important. If you ever wanted to upload files or pull files down from it, you can do it this way. We're going to talk in the next video about FTP, a way to upload things a lot easier. But let's just say, for this sake, if you wanted to do it this way, here we go. And it goes ahead and it shows you all the files, and from here you can download files, you can edit files, all different kinds of things. Kind of like similar to Windows File Manager. You can look at your disk space usage. You can also create FTP accounts. Logs. This is helpful stuff. You can take a look at the latest people that have been to your site. I like to use AW Stats because this is a really nice stats program. This is a domain that I really don't use, so there's not going to be many people that have came here. You can see I started it with good intentions but didn't really do anything with it. But you can go ahead and these stats break things down. You can see how people found your site, and how long they were on each page, and how many people came on what day. It's pretty cool stuff, and certainly important if you want to study how well your site is performing and where people came from, and of course why. You can also download your stats to analyze them in an external program. You can also password protect things. We can create subdomains, add-on domains, redirects. If your hosting account came with databases, here is the MySQL database, which is really important. And then we have software here. Oftentimes, even if you don't have Fantastico, which this account actually doesn't, even though I told you need it, how about that? Here we can do things like set up a clock or a guest book. We can configure our own arrow pages. We can set up cron jobs, different things like that, and of course contact support. So that's essentially cPanel and how it works. I would encourage you to get in there and get comfortable. In the next video, we're going to talk about once you have your website files, how do you get them onto your hosting account. And even though you can do that through File Manager, I'm going to suggest that you do it with an FTP program. It doesn't cost anything, and I will see you in that video. I'll see you there. Understanding FTP. FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol, and essentially what it is it is a program that allows you to take files on your computer and upload them to your hosting account, which is your website. If you're an experienced webmaster, you may already have an FTP program that you paid money for. QFTP is the most popular, and I use that, but I also use a program called FileZilla, which is free, and I can certainly recommend it because it's really nice, especially for being free. But don't let that fool you because it actually has a lot going for it. You can download it here at this location, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to take files from your computer and upload them to your hosting account through FileZilla. Now, in the later videos, we're going to talk about how to actually create the files. So for the time being, you're going to have to pretend that you already have the files, or come back to this video later once you have them. So let's go ahead and open up FileZilla. Once you download it and install it, it's a pretty painless procedure. Once you have it, I'm going to show you what to do. Okay, so here we are. I have FileZilla opened up, and basically what's going to happen here is there are going to be two windows. The one is my computer, and the other is going to be our host. And what we need to do is we need to transfer the files from one to the other. So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and find whatever files I want to upload to my website. I find them on my actual computer. And there they are. Let's pretend those are the ones that I want. And then I'm going to go ahead and enter my information here that you should have from your hosting account, which would be, of course, your domain name, and then your username and password, whatever you need to be able to access your account. So I'm going to go ahead and connect to one of my hosting accounts. Okay, so I'm connected here, and you can see here these are the files. Now you don't want to just start moving files. You want to make sure that you take them to the right place. And basically, we have these different things here. Public_HTML is what we want to concern ourselves with. I was fooled the very first time I did this. I went to www. That's not what you want. You want this. I'm going to go ahead and double click that, and there we can see all the files that I already have on there. Which, if it's a new account, it might be blank. So to move a file over, you just take it and you drag it over and drop it, and then it transfers over. Oops, sorry, you can ignore that. So it transfers over. So of course you can highlight multiple ones or even folders, and then move it over, and then it just goes over. You can also take it, and it works the other way. You can move files from your website back over to your computer. So what will happen then is, we'll move them, and we can take these files on our computer and then edit them with an HTML editor, which we're going to cover in just a minute. And that's basically how it works. And FTP is not hard. This is a great way to update and change your site. And again, it doesn't cost anything, so you can't beat that as well. So the next thing we need to do then is figure out what in the world, how are we going to come up with actual HTML files. Don't worry, it's not that hard. We're going to go ahead and start at the beginning with that too. So that's how FTP works, and I will see you in the next series of videos to talk about how to create some basic web page files. I'll see you there. What is affiliate marketing? Please note, affiliate marketing is also referred to as internet marketing. Throughout the video series, you might hear me say either or. They're pretty much the same thing. Affiliate marketing, according to Wikipedia, is a method of promoting web businesses where an affiliate is rewarded for every sale made through their efforts. Basically, what this means is going out, finding something that you'd like to sell, and then, of course, selling it, and every sale that you make, you get a commission on. But here's the catch. You don't need to have a attic full of your product. Let's say, for example, that you want to sell, something, a book. You don't need to have the physical books at your place. You go ahead and you get the sale, and then the person that you sold for ships the book, but they recognize that you made the sale for them, and then of course give you a commission. So it's actually pretty cool because one of the things that's difficult with sales is, if you were to open up a store, it's difficult. Of course, it takes a lot of money to stock products. You don't have to do that. And also, you don't know what the demand is going to be like. So with internet marketing, you can sit down and you can try to sell something, and if it doesn't work, you just switch to something else. And then, of course, you don't have to return any products or anything like that. You only get paid when you sell something. Now, I'd like to show you an example of affiliate marketing in action. I am at a place called ClickBank. ClickBank is a place for affiliate marketing where you can go to find products that you can sell. Please note all of ClickBank's products are actually digital. We'll talk a little bit more about ClickBank a little bit later, but I just want to go ahead and show you. I'm going to go ahead and search the marketplace for dog training. You can see here that some weird stuff came up. Let's just try dog. Okay, Secrets to Dog Training updated. Essentially what this is a product that someone created on how to train a dog. You can see the sales letter here. And the cost of this product is, I think it's around like $47, something like that. So here's the catch. I go out and I convince my friend to buy this because I know that my friend has been having some problems with her dog. So I get him to buy this, but of course he buys it through my special affiliate link. What will happen is my friend will purchase this, of course, for the $47. However, I will get 3/4 of that sale. Is that insane or what? 75% actually goes to the person that made the sale, which is me. So what you're going to find is with affiliate marketing, oftentimes the sales commission is very high. So what happens then is, you might find yourself, you sell a product for $100, you might get $50 from that sale, $75 from that sale. Now can you see why affiliate marketing is so exciting? Because again, you don't have to do things like stock your store, and it's not that hard to get out and get set up. You can join ClickBank for free. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But once you get going, then you're all set and you have your affiliate link and you can start making sales. So that's essentially what affiliate marketing is. In the next video, we're going to summarize the advantages, why you absolutely need to be doing it, because it is a fantastic way to make money without leaving your home, and we'll talk about that in the next video. I'll see you there. Tool number 4. Basic HTML skills. Now we are ready to start creating actual pages that we were going to upload onto our hosting account that can be used to sell things. Don't worry, it is not that hard. We're going to take things, a step at a time. This is by no means going to be an exhaustive course on HTML. It's just going to teach you the basics. So let's go ahead then and get started. Of course, you'll also want to refer to the accompanying book that'll also have the code a bit more laid out. HTML is, it's a coding language, but I don't want that to scare anyone because actually it's very, very simple. Most of HTML is going to be just, whatever text appears on your site. We just need a few tags to help separate, what is going to happen with words on the page. And we're actually going to use an editor that, again, is free, that has the ability to display what you see is what you get, which means that we're not going to have to sit down and write all this complex code. We're going to be able to edit things as a web page would look. So that might not make any sense, but bear with me and open up the next video and you will see what I mean and how easy this really will be. I'll see you there. Getting started with the HTML editor, I wanted to talk a bit about how web pages look. Essentially, let's just take a look at an example here. I'm just going to go to Google and randomly pick a site. Okay, how to train a dog. This is how the site looks. To you, however, this page is actually made up of something called HTML, which is actually code for web pages. And this is what the code looks like, okay? So you can see here that there's some stuff here, some gibberish, I guess you could say, and then we have the text that you see in the page, but then there's these tags that tell the web browser what it is. For example, this P here stands for paragraph, and that lets the web browser know that this is a paragraph, or H1 that lets the browser know that this is a header. So like a professional dog trainer, if we go back to the page here, you can see that this part is bigger because this is the header. So the reason that all these words look the way that they do, of course we have some bullets here and images and all that stuff. The way that the browser puts it all together is by looking at some code that's in there. So what we need to do is we need to get an editor because, of course, I don't expect you to sit down and start writing code from scratch like this. Fortunately, there are tools known as HTML editors where you can look at the page like this, rather than looking at it like the crazy code. You can actually get to see both, so that way as you change the code you can see how it looks, and that makes creating web pages and editing web pages a heck of a lot easier. In fact, it's not really that hard at all. So the most popular editing program is Dreamweaver, Adobe Dreamweaver, and it is excellent. That's what I use. However, it does cost quite a bit of money. So what I want to suggest to you is that you pick up a really nice free program that I've also used called Composer. It's available at composer.net. You just go there, and again, this is free software, and download it and install it. Now, if you do have Adobe, if you do have any other different kind of program, that's okay. The gist is going to be the same, but if not, go ahead and grab this. This is what I'm going to use in the following videos to demonstrate some basic HTML skills. I'll see you in the next video when we start to talk about how to construct a page. I'll see you there. Creating a basic page. Okay, creating a basic page is not that hard. I have Composer open on my laptop here. So what I want to show you is the way that it works, as do most decent editors. They show you the coding for the page, but they also show you exactly what the page would look like online. So there's a couple different ways that you can get started. Perhaps some of you will purchase a site from someone, or maybe a landing page, and then what you can do is you can tweak it in this editor, or maybe you're going to start from scratch. That, either way is okay. Basically, the layout of a page starts with this line here. This basically just lets the world know that this is a web page. This HTML here, and again, all this information is also in the book as well. Then we start with something called the header section. Basically, anytime, let me just forget about this for a second. Whenever a tag occurs, it starts and ends. So let's say, for example, I want to create a paragraph. Well, I start, that's the paragraph tag right there. It starts with that, and then I have my text there within the paragraph, and then I need to close the paragraph. So that's it. Right there, that's a paragraph. So the same principle occurs on the whole page here. We see the very first tag is the HTML tag. It starts the page. It also ends the page. Okay? So that lets the internet know, hey, this is a web page. Next, we have two sections to the page, the head section and the body section. The head section is where we have a chance to tell the search engines what our page is about. When a human comes and sees the page, they do not see the head, just the search engine. So this is a very important thing to do, because of course it's very important that we explain to the search engines what our pages are about. Then between the body here, this is where we have a chance to write our page. So you can see here that I wrote, "Hi, this is my web page." I go here to preview, and hey, look, there it is. Note, you don't see any of this header stuff. It's simply not there. So that is the basic layout of a page. Now, of course, there are tons and tons and tons of tags. How in the world do you go from something like that to something like this? Something like this, of course, is made up of quite a bit of code. Let's take a look at this code. Okay, so it starts off again with the HTML, and then we have the head section. Now this information here, this is style information. It's a bit more complicated. We're not going to worry about any of that right now. Scroll down here. These are meta tags. We're going to talk about those in a later video. And then we get to the body. So again, all this stuff here, information that the person is not going to see, but it is important to the actual page. Here's the body. Okay? So this is where all the content is. Now, you might be saying, what is all this stuff with the tables? Essentially, a table is when things are sectored off, like here. This is a table here. It has 3 columns, maybe a little similar to a spreadsheet table. I guess I can make that correlation. Here's a column, and here's a column, and here's a column. How does this all get sectored off? Oh, it's done in the coding. Again, that's a bit more advanced and not something that we're going to be doing. I'm just just showing you how all this works. So, if you're looking at this and your head spinning around and around and around, One thing you can do is you can pay somebody to create a website for you, to promote your affiliate offer, or you can just purchase what's known as a landing page. You don't need to have some big fancy website. Maybe you can just have your website just be one page, and that's certainly okay. But I want you to understand how to make simple edits on your page, because you want to be able to do that. You want to be able to put in your affiliate link and all that kind of good stuff. And that's why, we're talking about what we're talking about. So in the next few videos, I'm going to talk about the most essential basic skills. Now, if you're looking at this saying, hey, this looks really cool, I want to get involved, that's great. These videos are a starting point, but I would highly suggest that you go out and purchase a book on HTML. That's the way that I learned. Actually, I learned from HTML for Dummies. They still make it. Because honestly, it's a really good thing for somebody starting at the beginning, because it's of course all the information is online too, but I found it difficult to try to build my site and then go back and forth to the teaching materials, whereas I had the book sitting next to my computer and I was able to reference it whenever I wanted. It just made life a little bit more easier for me, so that's why I'm suggesting it to you as well. So again, you can get around this by paying someone to design things for you, but it is really smart to have the basic skills under your belt, which is what we're going to talk about in the next few videos. I'll see you there. One of the most basic things that you need to know how to do is how to add a link and anchor text. Now, what actually is anchor text? Well, let's go ahead and go back to our example here. As you know from surfing the web, when something is blue and underlined, that kind of signals to us that it can be clicked on. It's actually a link. And what happens is we need to specify in the web page two different things. We need to specify, when somebody clicks the link, where's it going to take you, and also, what does the link say? So that's what we're talking about. When I click on this, I am not taken to a place on the net called Puppy Training. I am taken to this page right here. So how did the website know to do that? Well, it's in the coding. So that breaks down to two things. Of course, we have our link, and then the text that appears that's clickable, that is known as anchor text. Anchor text is actually really important because it tells the search engines what the page is about. It also tells the visitors too, because for example, if I'm looking to learn more about puppy training, obviously this is where I want to click. So whatever anchor text you use to create a link, that's going to send the signal directly to the search engines that is what that page is about. So let's say, for example, that you want to rank for the phrase best puppy food. Well, then of course you want to make sure that you use that text in your link, and that's how that works. So how, of course, do you do that? Well, I'm going to give you the code here. This here, the ahref equals, and I'm sorry, this should actually be in quotes here, quotes, http, /, and then whatever your link is, and then there should be a quote right there, and then that, and then this is the anchor text right here. So again, we have the link, and then we have the anchor text. So let me go ahead with a live example. This right here, that's the beginning of my web page. I'm going to go ahead and put a break in here. BR creates a page break. I'm going to create another one. And then what we'll have here, just make some room so you can see this, is I'm going to create a link. I'm going to start off with ahref equals, and then the link's going to be in quotes. I need to have the address with all that good stuff there. Google, I'm going to go ahead and link to Google, like they need any more links, right? And then I'm going to close it with that. And then I have my anchor text. Visit Google's official site here, okay? And then I need to end the anchor text by doing this code here. And again, this is also in the book too, and make life a little bit easier for you. Okay, so now let's see what that looks like by going down here and hitting preview. Okay, look at that. This is clickable, and if I click on that, I am taken to Google's website. So pretty cool, pretty easy, huh? So that is basically how you make a link, and that's the text. And this is really important because not only for your web page, but you may, if you write an article, get into article marketing, you're going to have to know how to create links. If you create your own blog, it's something that you need to know how to do. So there you go. It's not really that hard. Just make sure that you include those quotes there and use exactly what I showed you here, and that's what you need to do. Adding images. This is also another very popular thing that is important to know how to do. And of course, this is adding images to your website. And what we do is it's similar to creating a link. We're going to use tags. Only they're going to look like this. We need to start it off with the IMG, of course that stands for image, and then SRC equals, and then again, I don't have the quotes here. They should have been. I apologize for that. The quote, and then of course this is the location of the image right there, and then the end quotes, and then we specify the width and height of the image, and then we end it. And that is the image code. So let me go ahead and demonstrate this. I'm going to go ahead and put an image in here. I'm going to add another break and another break just to create some line space. I'm going to start it with the IMG space SRC equals, and then the quote, and then the location of my image, which actually, yeah, right there. And then I'm going to have quote again. I know that that's long. Okay, and then I end it like that. Okay, let's see what that looks like. There we go. Look, there's the image. It came right in. Now we can also, of course, when the search engines look, they don't view the image. They just read what the image is. We can also add what is known as the alt tag, where we can write what it's about. So I could put dog obedience training. That could be a description of what the image is. Okay? And again, you don't see that. That's just for the search engines, but that's how that works. So that is essentially it. Again, the code is in the book, but that's how you create an image. It's not that hard. And the one thing I didn't do there was I didn't specify the height and width. Let me just go ahead and show you that. If you don't specify it, it just goes ahead and takes the image at whatever size, the actual image is. But if you wanted to change it, make it smaller. Let me go ahead and do that. We're here still in this tag. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put height equals 100. And then I don't need to put the width because it's going to scale it. So to make the height, to take it down to 100, it's automatically going to have the width, to scale. Now, if I wanted to stretch the image, then I could have it, let's see, I can make the width 100 also. And as you know, that's not really how that image is meant to be viewed, and it doesn't look quite right. But again, you can pull images around and stretch them, or if you wanted to eliminate that, then the image is just going to be pulled in at its default size. So that, of course, is how you add an image. Understanding meta tags. I wanted to talk a bit about the section of a web page that the search engines see. These are known as the meta tags. And of course, if I show you here, that's between the header section here. And you're going to go out and find that just about every page, if the webmaster's smart, they've done their meta tags, because you're foolish not to. So let's talk about the first one, the title tag. This is possibly the most important part of your page because it's a big deal. The title of your page is kind of like the title of a book. It's representative of what the book is about. So simply put title and then the title of your page, and then the ending, the closing tag. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's put a title in here. Actually, it's already in here. So right there, title, and then I'll just put it here. This is the title of my page, and then close it with that. And that's it. That's the title tag. Now we go to the preview, and you don't see anything. Actually, the title of a page does appear in a browser. Let me go ahead and show that to you. The title is what appears right here. So the title of this page is How to Train a Dog, and then so forth. So when you do a search on Google, oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes, what comes up here is the title of the page. So there you go. Title certainly is important. Okay, moving on. Let's see here. Description meta tag. This is also important, not as important as the title, but still important. This is a chance for us to describe what the page is about. And this is the code that you use. Meta name equals description, content equals information on dog training includes help with barking. That was the description that I went ahead with. So what I would do is I would just take that, copy it, and then paste it right into my page, which could be, I could have it be right here. keywords meta tag. This is also another chance for us to tell the search engines the keywords that are important in this page. Oftentimes, if you're trying to rank for a keyword phrase, you certainly want to make sure that you put them in here. The coding, again, is just meta name equals keywords, content equals dog training tips, dog training information, and whatever else is relevant. Now, back in the good old days, people used to keyword stuff, meaning that they would put about a bazillion keywords in here, and that trick doesn't work anymore. In fact, it can hurt you. What I would suggest you do is not go crazy and just have 5 to 10 keywords in there that describe your site. You don't have to do it. Some people even say it doesn't really count that much anymore. So that's something that I guess you could argue with people about. But I do it because I think that it's not going to hurt as long as you don't overdo it. Okay, the robots meta tag is also something that you see a lot of. Basically, what this does is it's used to tell a page if you don't want the search engines to index your page. So let's say, for example, that you have a page that's private that you don't want the search engines to be pulling up. You would create this tag here. There is also a way to make this tag, change this tag so they know to follow, but the default is that they will follow, so you don't actually need it. So this actually isn't that important of a tag, but I wanted to include it just to include it. So that's the meta section, the basic gist of it. And you should now have an understanding of how website works. Now, we had talked before about how to take these files and upload them with your FTP. Of course, you would just go in here and save the pages, and then you would connect with your FTP program and upload them to your site, and then they will look just like they do here. Pretty cool, huh? So, again, if creating a web page is going to be difficult for you, you can learn, but if it's something you really struggle with, why not go out and pay someone to do it? You can go to a place like Rent a Coder, get a freelancer, places like that, and just spend $20 and have a landing page created for yourself. It's actually not a big deal. And then of course, since you'll have a starting point, then you can go ahead and change things around as you move forward. So that is how it works. I hope that it makes sense, and I hope that it encourages you to go out and learn more about how to code HTML. It's really not that difficult.